Hello and welcome to Vanessa and Melissa.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Are you ready to pop that baby out?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's going to be that easy. Saying pop it out makes it sound really easy. But yes, I am quite ready to have my baby.
38 weeks pregnant.
Yay.
This baby's coming.
Yeah, this baby's cooked. So this is my last show until baby.
Yeah. And this also brings us to one of the realities that we're dealing with is parenting. And like
our constant reality. Basically, we live and breathe it. That's all we ever talk about.
Okay, but you know, every time you have a new kid,
yes,
every time you have a new kid, you're kind of like, there's, you know, you start to think back to all the things you need to get ready for in regards to parenting.
Yeah, I am going back right now in my thoughts because I have a 4 and a 6-year-old. So I've been in the kind of toddler type phase, and now I'm going back to all the thoughts of like baby, newborn. Yeah,
right.
Totally.
So it made us think about one thing was how we were as kids.
Yes, totally. Yes, and the things that were, you know, kind of spoken to us and the things we were encouraged to do and how we were parented by our parents. And yeah,
I think that as kids we both strongly felt at some point we were, you know, directed in some ways.
Yes, absolutely. We were talking about this earlier. I was, you know, always told that I was really good at English and drama, and those are the areas that I really loved, and I ended up kind of following those paths in my life. And you know, I also think I'm good at math, but I was never really encouraged in that area. So how as parents are we speaking to our kids? In what ways are we encouraging them to follow different paths or not?
Right. And to make sure we're not pigeonholing them, right? Like we're not putting them into a box. Like you're good at hockey. You're good at, you know, math. Like or
even in high school, remember that. Don't worry, you just got to get the credit and then you can drop that and go on to what you are good at. And it's like, well, we could all be constantly evolving in all areas at all times,
I know.
Right?
The other day I was sitting with my accountant and she was bringing up some number calculation and I was like, I had a flashback of high school and I was like, I'm never going to need this. And here I am as a 30-year-old woman struggling because I didn't want to pay attention in class.
Now we have an accountant.
Yeah.
So anyway, how that brings us to our topic today and to our guests. Today we're speaking with Dr. Jen Forristal, and she's a naturopathic doctor, and she actually specializes in speaking to groups and parents and teachers about this specific topic. So thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's always a pleasure.
You have this really great opinion on, you know, that we should let our kids think about growth as opposed to just fixed.
Yeah, so to really understand this topic, you need to look at some of the research that was done out of Stanford by a doctor named Carol Dweck, and she identified that we have 2 mindsets, fixed and growth. Fixed mindsets where we believe that our skills we're born with them. We're either smart or we're not. We're good at math or we're not.
Like very black and white.
Very black and white, very fixed. And a growth mindset is where we believe that everything can be learned through hard work and the right tools. So
I love that one.
Yeah, and so obviously the research shows that kids who have a fixed mindset will choose easier tasks. If we reward them for, you know, the end of the outcome, they'll choose easier tasks because that's what they think we want, right? We want them to get A's, so they'll choose subjects that they can get A's in, right?
And the easier route.
I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. Easier route.
Well, because at the end of the day, they all want our praise, right?
Yeah.
Right, but in a growth mindset, kids will choose harder tasks because they think we care about effort. So they'll choose tasks that make them really work hard. And you know, even if you're great at English, the harder you work, the more your growth curve will be like this, right? Instead of flat. If we choose easy tasks, we never really grow. So it's really, really interesting, groundbreaking research that a lot of schools are using now, and it's changing the way we talk to kids.
Yeah, and you're just going to say the way you talk to kids is we tend to usually praise talent over effort, but you're telling us to flip it.
Exactly. Well, it's so natural to say to your children, you're so smart. Oh my gosh, you're so great at
so
soccer.
Guilty of that.
What a good dancer you are. You're amazing, right? And that's, we want to praise our kids, right? But what it does is when we tell our kids over and over that they're smart, everything becomes a chance to prove that that is either true or not true. So every time they write a test, it's in their head proving to them, am I smart or aren't I smart? It's very fixed because I either am or I'm not, right?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to praise the work and effort when you really think about it rather than praising the outcome, you know?
Exactly.
It does make sense. So with kids, like for us, for parents, how do you coach parents to encourage their kids to keep that open mindset? Like, what are the things that we can do, kind of example-wise, maybe?
So I have a great example with my son. Was just a great little soccer player. He was 3 years old, and, you know, he'd be the kid who scored, like, 8 goals every time. He was top scorer, loved it, so much heart and passion, working so hard out there.
Yeah.
But he really focused on the fact that he was scoring goals. And, he was so proud. We'd call grandparents. We'd tell the story over and over to his friends, right? He was so great.
I think we've all done that.
Right?
and
you think, you're like, wow, I'm building him up here. Next year, he's going to go out there and he's going to love soccer. So the next year, he switched to the 4-5 division, right? So now he's with 5-year-olds, and they're way better than him, right? And he's the youngest kid on the field.
And naturally so, I was going to say, the age difference right there.
Exactly, and in one instant, I became the parent who was out on the field 10 times a game, picking up my sobbing child and carrying him off the field, and what went wrong, right? But really what had happened is we were really tying his joy to the outcome of the game. We were praising that. That's what he thought we wanted, instead of just saying, wow, do you know why you scored those goals? Because you worked so hard. Right? You have so much passion. Wow. So now we switched it, and now he is so cute out on the field. Aww. The other day I heard a mom, and he's still a great soccer player, and he loves it, but I heard a mom the other day from the sidelines wow, Caleb, that was great. And he turns around and he says, it's because I'm working so hard to this mom.
That's fantastic.
It was the best mommy moment where I was like, yes. So now, if he doesn't score any goals, he's fine. He's just out there leaving his heart on the field, so much passion, and that's what he thinks I want, and that's what he talks about.
For sure. I can really resonate with that. And then I think there's another side of it. For instance, with my son, he doesn't love school, right? And we're really struggling right now to get him to, try harder. And so I want you to maybe help us here with some, because I think parents at home are going to resonate with this. These are common things kids say to us. What should we get them to think instead of this? So something like, I can't do it, or I can't do this.
Right. So there's a lot of power in yet. If you just, help them add that to what they're thinking. You just can't do it yet. What can we change about the way you're doing it to help you do it,
Love it. Yeah. What about I don't like making mistakes?
Yeah, so failure, right, yeah. Failure is a huge topic in parenting these days, and people are saying you should let your kids fail, right? It's so important, and it is, but we need to teach them early on that mistakes are how we learn.
Yes.
If you never make mistakes, you don't learn. You just carry on your flat little path, right?
Yeah.
The bigger the mistake, the more opportunity for growth, right? It's all relative. Little mistake, little growth. Big mistake, big opportunity to grow. And I teach our kids that.
That's such a big one. And also to tell your kids, too, that, mom and dad make mistakes, too. We're making mistakes. We're still learning, right?
Yep.
These are the things that you think you should know, but you need that reminder.
You do.
They're so important. And
hey, I'm an expert, and look what happened to me.
Such good information, though. So thank you so much for speaking with us.
No problem.
If you want to learn more about these, you call them umbrella skills. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
So you can go to Jen's website at mydrjen.com to learn more about these amazing tips. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.